Hello, hello. Welcome to the Busy Book Club. My name is Michelle. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I want to talk about how I went from reading 12 books a year to about 50 books a year. A little bit about me. I am a mom of two young adventurous kiddos. My son just turned 2 and my daughter is about to be 5. And then I also have a full-time job at a marketing firm. And then I'm married. I have 2 fur pups and I have a garden outside. So I'm a very, very busy lady. But I love reading. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about a couple of changes that I made in my life so that I was able to increase what I was reading. Audiobooks really changed everything for me. One of my best friends, she listens to books all the time and was always recommending audiobooks to me because she knew that I loved to read and how much joy it brought me, but she knew that I was maybe doing 1 book a month. I tried listening to some audiobooks, but the voices drove me crazy. Like when a guy is pretending to be a girl or a girl is pretending to be a guy. And it was so annoying and I hated it. Or if it was just one voice for like 10 different people, I'm like, I don't like this. This is weird. Well, anyway, so I kept trying and I finally found 2 books that the voices didn't bother me. And so then I was able to listen to it and I loved these 2 books so much. So I do absolutely recommend these books. I think they're 100% worth your time if you're like me and your time is limited and you don't want to waste your time reading just so books or books that you just don't like at all. I definitely recommend these 2. They're what got me into audiobooks. So the first one is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I did read this one around October, so it felt like it was the right time, but I just loved it. I loved it so much. And then the second one is The First Time Caller. So that was a rom-com, and that one, my friend who was pushing me on audiobooks, she did recommend The First Time Caller, and it was the sweetest book, and it really reeled me in from like the first 10 minutes. I was hooked. So definitely recommend those 2. But the reason that audiobooks has changed everything for me, and also my audiobooks are free. I do it through Libby. So Libby is connected to your local library. The only down-ish thing about Libby is a lot of the books have a wait list. So even though it's on audio, they can still only give the book to so many people at a time to rent. So some of the books that I'm like really excited to listen to, they can have like a 10-week wait list or something like that. So that's the only downside to Libby. It's free, so that's amazing, right? Everything's so expensive. I listen when I'm driving to work. I don't know if you guys commute for work, but my work is about a 20-minute drive from here, and then I also kind of drive to see clients here and there. And so as soon as I'm in my car, unless my kids are in the back, because I don't always like to listen to kid-friendly audiobooks, and they don't want to listen to my audiobooks. I wouldn't want to listen to my mom's. If they're not in the car and I'm by myself, I'm always listening to an audiobook, and it has made my commute just so much more enjoyable. I used to listen to the radio, which might shock people because I'm 36 and a lot of 30-year-olds don't listen to the radio, but it's also part of what I do for a living. But anyway, driving, folding laundry, I detest folding laundry, and since I became a mom, I'm always folding laundry. Why are there always 8 loads to do? I don't know. But anyway, folding it is just so meh. So now I listen to like a murder mystery and it's like super exciting. I really like it. And so I just have my headphones on. Of course, my kids are running around, and if my husband is home, then I'll have both earpods things in, and if he's not home, I have one out so that I can listen to the kiddos because they are still little. Cleaning, another adult thing that I really don't enjoy. I don't really enjoy cleaning. I love the way the house feels when it's clean. I love that. I love like the before and after. Like that's super satisfying. But it's just another way that like the audiobooks have just like really enhanced my life, doing these mundane activities. Walking. So my son just turned 2, so he does like to be in a stroller here and there, and so I'll go on walks around the neighborhood and I'll have my audiobook on. I do keep the volume really low in case he needs me or a car is coming. I don't want to get hit by a car. But yeah, getting ready in the morning, kind of a strict rule where if I'm getting ready for work or for the day, like that's my time. Sometimes that's 10 minutes, sometimes that's 45 minutes. It depends. Do I get to get my hair did? Am I doing my face? What are we doing? But it's just another way that, I mean, you can listen to an audiobook almost anywhere and everywhere. If you're at work and you've got some downtime, you can listen to your audiobook. If you, like my daughter, she does gymnastics and sometimes she doesn't like, she wants my face up. She doesn't want it down looking at a book. She's let me know that. She's very clear. So if I can listen and I can watch her at the same time, which she appreciates. I don't want to miss her gymnastics. I don't need to hear what's going on. I just need to see. I always have the book that I'm reading in my purse because I never know when I'm gonna have time. Sometimes if my gas tank is on empty and I go and get gas, it's not a lot of time, but it's 5 minutes where I can just whip up my book and, you know, read it instead of staring at people around me that are filling up their gas tank or scrolling on social media and not really doing anything. I've prioritized my mental health a lot more since becoming a mom. I've made reading kind of incorporated into that. So your hobbies are very important. What brings you joy, what fills your cup is super important. If it's working out, if it's like going to church, whatever it is. And reading is something that for me is a really beautiful escape and does fill my cup, brings me a lot of joy. So I've made it a part of my mental health priority. And part of that is just kind of asking for what you need from your village, from people around you. My husband and I switch off. So every Saturday morning he sleeps in, every Sunday morning I sleep in. I'm not very good at sleeping in. I naturally just kind of wake up around 6:30. So instead of sleeping, when I naturally wake up, it's still my time, even though I'm not sleeping in, it's still my time. So I'll come downstairs, get a cup of coffee, go back upstairs, and I'll read a few chapters, maybe even up to an hour. Love starting the day that way. I just love it. It's my favorite way to start the day. And then on Saturdays when he gets to sleep in, once he has awoken from his slumber and he comes downstairs and he's had his coffee and he's getting acclimated to the situation at hand, I let him know, hey, he knows I've been up with the kids for a couple hours while he's been sleeping, and I say, can I go upstairs and read for a bit? So it's just kind of asking for what you want, asking for what you need. So I hope that helps. If you're someone who isn't able to read as much as they want, is looking to read more. So my big things were audiobooks and making it a part of my mental health and asking what I need, and then not waiting for, having multiple hours to read, taking bits and pieces where I can. Oh, and then another thing, last but not least, is I love to read with my friends, which is part of the reason that I started this here. You guys just saw that fly just boop. Anyway, he's back. Love reading with my friends. So I have a little group chat and we will recommend books to one another, and it's just really, really fun. I remember this quote. I was watching a movie and this guy said something that really resonated with me, which I don't think it's completely true, but I think there's some truth to it. And the quote is, happiness is only real when shared. So however you want to perceive that. I think you can definitely have happiness solo. However, I do feel like there is some truth to that. Like when you go to the movies to go enjoy a new film, you don't usually go by yourself. I would love to go by myself here and there if I can, but it's fun to experience adventure and romance and mystery with other people. It's just a little bit more enjoyable, makes it kind of feel a little bit more real, I think. So that's another thing, is I've incorporated I've pulled my friends in and be like, hey, I really want to read this book. Do you guys want to read this with me next month? And usually I have at least a couple that want to read it with me, and then we talk about it the whole way through, and it's really fun. I really, really enjoy that. So anyway, that's how I went from reading 12 books a year to about 50 books a year as a busy mom with a full-time job. I hope some of this was helpful to you and that you're able to set aside some time to do something that you really love and enjoy, whether that's reading, working out, whatever it is, because everyone's hobbies and mental health and joy and cup filleth is very important. So, all right, thank you guys. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day.